In the current tariff war, India holds a more advantageous position than China. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, in an April 28th CNBC interview, disclosed that the U.S. is negotiating with 15 to 18 key trade partners, with India expected to be the first to reach a new agreement. Shen Mingxi, a researcher at Taiwan's Institute for National Defense and Security Research, commented, like Vietnam, India is eager to capitalize on China's economic downturn and reap the benefits. Reuters reported on April 29th that India proposed a future most favored nation clause in negotiations, promising that if it secures lower tariffs with other countries in the future, the U.S. would automatically receive the same treatment. Indian government officials also revealed that India is willing to offer the U.S. more favorable terms than those offered to the UK or the EU. However, New Delhi seeks assurances that it can fill the void left by Chinese companies and become a primary supplier to the U.S. market. Taiwanese financial expert Huang Shixing analyzed, for India, securing an agreement with the U.S. quickly is crucial, as this is a historic opportunity for development. At this moment, they have a chance to replace China's supply chain. India's trade deficit with China is also growing. India is among the top 3 countries with the largest trade imbalances with China, with a trade deficit of $93 billion to $95 billion. India has initiated dialogues with China to address this issue. Shanghai and Beijing are witnessing a shocking collapse in consumer spending, with countless households mired in debt and brick-and-mortar stores shutting down on a massive scale. I can guarantee you that right now in Shanghai, 70% of people can't afford to pay wages. You might not believe it, but even large companies are considering salary cuts and layoffs, let alone small ones. Whether they can survive this year is anyone's guess. Look at Shanghai now. Tenants in major commercial office buildings are practically changing every month. I deal with bosses from all industries daily, and almost every one of them is drowning in online loans and small debts. In a first-tier city like Shanghai, there are 15 yuan, approximately $2 quick-cut barbershops everywhere. Before 7 p.m., the once bustling lifestyle plazas are so empty, you could swing a stick and not hit a single person. Whether it's hair salons, clothing stores, or department stores, there are barely any customers. What's going on? Compared to a few years ago, it's like 2 completely different worlds. As the US-China trade war escalates dramatically, China's economy is entering a deep, silent, yet shocking cooldown. Shanghai, China's largest and most prosperous city, once teemed with bustling commercial districts, endless streams of traffic, and vibrant energy. This international metropolis, admired by many, boasted the highest pensions in the country, making people envious. Now, this economic beacon, dubbed the Pearl of the Orient and the Paris of the East, is like a leaking ship carrying the dreams of millions, slowly sinking into the abyss. A blogger, in a video lamenting the situation, said, I arrived at Shanghai Hongqiao Station today and noticed something. Have all the outsiders in Shanghai vanished? The station was practically empty. This is Hongqiao Station at 7 p.m. In the past, a Friday here would have been a sea of people. Today, this Friday, there's hardly anyone, just a sparse crowd. The roads on my way here were smooth, no traffic jams. Where have all the people in Shanghai gone? A Shanghai resident shared, you wouldn't believe it, but in Shanghai now, the poorest and most miserable aren't the street sweepers or factory workers tightening screws. It's the people who look glamorous on the surface, with houses and cars. I've met too many clients who wear suits and leather shoes, drive cars worth hundreds of thousands or even millions, yet have to penny pinch for gas. They live in upscale neighborhoods worth millions, but worry about mortgage payments every day. Their routine is going to work. It's scrambling to borrow money to pay off debts, constantly robbing people. They can't afford to rest. Their greatest like earning less is fine as long as there's no pressure. Another blogger raised a question. Have you noticed that Shanghai's population is shrinking this year? The streets are noticeably quieter. Tons of apartments can't be rented out, and even driving isn't as congested as before. The streets are nearly empty, malls have few visitors, restaurants are deserted, and even vegetable vendors at the farmers market say there's hardly anyone around. Isn't Shanghai supposed to have over 24 million people? So where have they all gone? The US-China tariff war has escalated under the CCP's retaliatory measures. Domestic media keep hyping that China's massive domestic market is one of the trump cards against Trump, but the reality is likely far different. According to the latest statistics, even China's wealthiest cities, Beijing and Shanghai, can't sustain consumption. Beijing's retail sales of consumer goods in March plummeted nearly 10%, while Shanghai's retail sales in March dropped a staggering 14.1%. These figures come after the CCP government rolled out consumption stimulus policies, with Shanghai and Beijing launching action plans in March to boost spending. Clearly, these policies have had little effect. Many netizens are saying that Shanghai is now a disaster zone for consumption downgrading. This year, so many outsiders have left Shanghai, and apartments are hard to rent out. Nice units, which people used to fight to rent, are now unwanted even at lower prices. Overnight, it feels like all of Shanghai is offloading properties. When friends meet now, they don't ask where you bought your house. They ask if you've listed it and how much the price has dropped. This year, Shanghai's secondhand housing listings hit a peak of 220,000 units. This isn't just talk. There's evidence, with thousands of new listings added daily. Properties for 5 million yuan before March are now 4.5 million yuan, approximately 619,000 US dollars for a quick sale, yet they still struggle to find buyers, even with agents begging to show them. One person questioned, maybe our so-called GDP will still grow, but the industries most relevant to ordinary people have no way forward. The hardships of the common people in 2025 will surely be recorded in history. The nightmare has only just begun. China's property market is collapsing, with prices slashed in half, yet no one is willing to buy. Housing prices in mainland China have continued to decline, causing the public to experience the largest loss of assets in nearly a decade. The crisis is growing increasingly severe, and to mask this, many real estate companies are resorting to deceptive tactics to attract customers. A blogger warned, the opening event of a Shenzhen real estate project is all fake, completely staged with paid actors. 100 yuan per person, 200 yuan if they bring family. A homeowner shared their anguish. I'm heartbroken, my God. A Shenzhen project's price dropped from 12 million yuan, approximately 1.65 million USD, to just over 4 million yuan in a mere 3 years. Those who bought at the peak, homeowners and speculators alike, are crying their eyes out. It's too late to escape now. This project is Moonbay Garden in Shenzhen's Qianhai area. Those who bought in the last 2 years have lost everything. Their down payments are gone. The real estate market is a bloodbath. Look at the area behind me. People paid 7,000 to 8,000 yuan, approximately 960 to 1,100 USD per square meter, for these homes at high prices. Now, prices are 3,000 to 4,000 yuan per square meter, everywhere. They're practically giving them away. For example, if you owe the bank a 500,000 yuan, approximately 68,775 USD loan, your house can't even sell for 500,000 yuan now. You'd have to dig into your own pocket and pull out tens of thousands more to sell it. Mainland China's housing prices keep falling, and countless netizens are venting online about the real estate crisis hitting ordinary people. Some mainland residents complain that in 2025, housing prices in China have plummeted. Even with massive price cuts, homes still have no buyers, and homeowners' years of savings have vanished. Some have lost millions when their homes were seized and auctioned off due to missed payments, ending up on credit blacklists and breaking down instantly. People lament these tragic times. Independent economist Brother Rui posted a video saying first-tier cities have gone crazy, with droves of homeowners selling at a loss. Many people in Shanghai, who used to be so proud, are now dumbfounded. Prices are dropping by 1 or 2 million yuan. A 10% drop, you might shrug off. But when it's 20% or 30%, don't you start feeling the pain? One person lamented, in many cities, housing prices are gradually sliding back to a few years ago. I used to say conservatively that they'd return to 2018, 2017, or 2016 levels. Now, many cities are already back to 2015, and I'm telling you, they'll keep sliding further back. Mainland netizens say China's housing market is in a steep decline, causing household assets to shrink continuously. People have no confidence in the future and are afraid to spend, trapping the economy in deflation. Blogger Wu Ge noted that during the crazy home buying frenzy of 2016, housing prices nationwide kept rising, with demand outstripping supply. Buyers panicked, and rationality was swallowed by market madness. Regardless of quality, almost any house could fetch a high price. But by 2023, the market turned bearish. Entering 2025, China's housing market continues to plummet. Many homeowners, crushed by debt, unemployment waves, and market collapse, are in distress. More and more people are venting about the vicious cycle of housing woes, feeling utterly miserable. According to data released by the China Index Academy on May 1st, 2025, the average price of secondhand residential properties across 100 cities in China in April 2025 was 13,892 yuan, approximately 1,910 US dollars per square meter, down 0.69% month on month, marking 36 consecutive months of decline. On a year-on-year basis, prices fell sharply by 7.23%. According to Reuters, analysts estimate that average housing prices in China have dropped 20% to 30% since peaking in August 2021. Real estate was once a key engine of China's economic growth, but in recent years, it has been mired in persistent decline and deterioration. Foreign media report that the number of vacant housing units in China ranges from 80 million to 90 million, with a noticeable lack of human activity. U.S. lawmakers warned Ireland not to buy China's C-919 aircraft over security risks and CCP military ties. Reuters reported on April 30th that U.S. Representative Raja Krishnamurthy, a Democrat from Illinois, wrote to Ryanair CEO Michael O'Leary, highlighting that the C-919's manufacturer, Comac, has close ties to the Chinese military. Evidence suggests Comac illegally acquires foreign intellectual property for profit. Frankly, US and European airlines should not consider purchasing aircraft from a Chinese military company in the future, wrote Krishnamurthy, the top Democrat on the House Select Committee on the Chinese Communist Party. In March, O'Leary told Skift that he would order planes from China if the price was right. Previously, the Irish airline had signaled it was exploring aircraft manufacturers beyond Boeing and its European rival, Airbus. Amid the US China trade war impacting Boeing and other aerospace companies, O'Leary's remarks have drawn increasing attention. Boeing is one of the largest US exporters. Chinese authorities have ordered Chinese airlines to delay accepting Boeing aircraft deliveries, and three 737 MAX planes parked in China awaiting delivery were sent back to the US. However, airlines in countries like India have expressed willingness to take over Boeing orders canceled or deferred by China. Comac's C919 passenger jet is designed to compete with Airbus and Boeing's best-selling narrow-body jets. The aircraft received domestic safety certification from Chinese authorities in 2022 and entered service in China in 2023. It could take years for the C919 to gain certification from European aviation regulators. Krishnamurthy stated in his letter that Comac is attempting to dominate the aircraft manufacturing industry at the expense of Boeing and Airbus. In mid-April, O'Leary told the Financial Times that Ryanair might delay purchasing Boeing planes if tariffs were imposed on them. The U.S. aviation industry is lobbying the White House for tariff exemptions, urging the reinstatement of the duty-free system outlined in the 1979 Agreement on Trade in Civil Aircraft. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below and let us know what you think.